do you guys have like any demands like for this event?
Listen, all through the pandemic, our members have shown up and worked the entire pandemic. They could have taken time off. There's language in our contracts that would allow them time off, and they didn't. They showed up to work. The members at Food for Less particularly, we have 1,400 members that work for Food for Less in San Bernardino, Riverside County, and Imperial County, just our local. And they had a much higher infection rate than any of our other retail grocery stores. And partly is because they deal in very high volume, and in the communities that they serve, there's not a whole lot of education about social distancing, masks, and things like that. They bore the brunt of this right off the bat. And so all we're asking for is that the company recognizes, one, the work that they've done through the pandemic. Because Kroger's made billions of dollars over what they would normally make in any given year during the pandemic. We're just asking them, give it back to your workers. Not all of it. Just give it.
Did this location get Heroes Pay? I know
this location did not get Hero Pay.
Okay.
And it was by municipality, and we've been having conversations.
Is that one of the demands?
So we had been asking for that since day one. We're still talking about something to that effect, whether it be a bonus or something, but it's in the forefront. And one thing people need to understand, these Food for Less stores, they deal in huge volumes.
Yeah.
Even more so than maybe a Ralph's or a Vaughn store does. They're incredibly profitable. And they only put their locations in underserved, underprivileged communities.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly going to stop short of calling them racist, but they don't treat the public here like they do at a Ralph's store.
Yeah, there's a lot of like food deserts.
That's right. And once they figured out they've taken everything they can out of a community, and if they got stores that aren't making a threshold financially, they'll leave. And it's, I've been in the grocery business for 3 generations. When you give me a grocery store that's making $300,000 a week, I could be very, very wealthy. They want more.
Yeah.
It's got to be $500,000 to $1 million a week, or they're going to leave town. And then what they end up doing, they leave, and they'll leave it to a Cardenas or an El Super or Vallarta, and these guys come in with even lower wages. And
yeah, I've heard there's been some grocery stores that have been just closing, even though they're like profitable. Has that been happening with Food for Less?
That hasn't happened so much with Food for Less. I know Kroger, Ralph's, who owns.
Yeah, I heard Ralph's did some of those.
They're just doing it to spite. They're really, and some of those stores were slated, like the stores out in Long Beach. Those 2 stores were already slated prior to the pandemic to close. And then the other is when you look at LA, the stores that are closing in LA, because of the pandemic, it's a little funny. All the rents went up. The leases were due, and they started looking at those rent increases and decided, you know, we're going to exploit the union and what they're trying to do, and we're just going to leave town. So it's just, they'd rather burn it down than give in. And that was the message that we're trying to send by those store closures. So they're not going to do that too much in our area that I know of. And the reason is, these stores are profitable.
Yeah.
I mean, we're sitting in a store right now that does $800,000 a week.
Yeah.
So I mean, somebody's getting rich. Certainly is this community.
Yeah.
And it certainly isn't our members. So,
yeah.
Anyway, thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.